Today we're here at Kingsport at the offices of Tom Bible Law, and I'm joined by Jesse Campbell, managing attorney here. Jesse, thanks for having us out today, first of all.
Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely. Let's talk about what you do here at Tom Bible Law.
Well, here we primarily specialize in helping folks get out of debt through utilizing some powerful federal law, bankruptcy law. We help consumers file Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcies.
And, I've heard bankruptcy all my life. For a lot of folks out there, they've heard that term, but tell us what bankruptcy really means.
Sure. Bankruptcy is it's a process that we're allowed to utilize under federal law that helps folks get a fresh start and get out of some of these debts that may be suffering or may be suffocating them.
Let's talk about some of the different chapters. There's different numbers associated, different chapter numbers associated with bankruptcies. Kind of describe those for us.
Well, you have primarily two different chapters that we file for consumers. There's others, but there's two most common types. The first being a Chapter 7, which most folks are probably familiar with. That's just a straight bankruptcy. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as a liquidation bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 process, most debts are eliminated completely. There are some that will survive a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, but for the most part, folks are going to get a completely fresh start in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Then you move on to a Chapter 13. Sometimes, a Chapter 7 won't work for folks depending on their specific situations. So we look at a Chapter 13 in that case. And in a Chapter 13, it really allows us to restructure your debts a lot of times. It's almost like a consolidation where one payment is made to a trustee as opposed to 10, 15, 20 different creditors. And then at the end of that process, they can also receive a discharge as well.
Now, overall, what does bankruptcy do for your client?
It does a lot of things. Depending on what kind of situation you're facing, it could help stop a foreclosure. It could stop a repossession of a car. It could even stop all these phone calls folks get. 10, 20, 30 phone calls a day from debt collectors. Some folks, it can put more money in their pocket at the end of the day. When you're sending out 80% of your paycheck to service credit card debt, and you can eliminate that through bankruptcy, that makes a big difference to a lot of folks at the end of the month.
And I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there, a lot of things that may or may not be true, but there are misconceptions about bankruptcy. Can you clear some of those up for us?
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of folks think that, if they're working, they can't file bankruptcy. Or it's not the right time if they're working to file bankruptcy. That's not true at all. Many times that folks I meet with, they're working, they're hardworking folks. And they want to pay their bills, but they just have gotten in over their heads. So they need a lifeline, and that we can provide that lifeline in most cases through the bankruptcy process. So if you're working, there's no reason why you can't. Another misconception is that it's frowned upon to file bankruptcy. And we all want to pay our debts. We all borrow money with the intention of paying those debts back. But at the end of the day, if you can't make ends meet, something has to give. So, it's not a situation where you're getting out of something or getting over on the system. Congress gives us this power to declare bankruptcy. And through that, we can give folks a fresh start. And that's the intent, the spirit behind bankruptcy, is to give individuals a fresh start.
Do you absolutely, I understand that you don't need a lawyer to file a bankruptcy, but it's better to have one because bankruptcy law is changing all the time.
Absolutely. Laws change all the time. You can certainly file it on your own. But at the end of the day, if you had a toothache, would you pull that tooth yourself, or would you go to a dentist to have it pulled?
So you need a professional to guide you through the court system and through everything, all the legalese.
Exactly. And there's a lot of pitfalls that can befall folks if they're not careful and they're not well informed about the process and the law that goes along with it.
Is it an expensive process?
Not at all. Not at all. In some situations, we can file a bankruptcy case for little to no money down. We can get folks started in the process, and we can work with them through every step of the way to make sure that we put them on the right path forward.
And I think another common misconception everybody has out there is that if I file for bankruptcy, my credit's just gone. I mean, Talk to me about the relationship between bankruptcy and your credit.
Right. You know, in a typical bankruptcy scenario, most of those creditors are starting to fall off their credit report pretty quickly, especially in a Chapter 7. Most folks see actually an increase in their credit scores after they file bankruptcy. And at the end of the day, you know, if they're considering bankruptcy, chances are your credit isn't in the best position that it could be anyway.
Right.
So this is oftentimes helpful in that. And what my clients have experienced is that, you know, it's pretty quick to rebuild credit a lot of times after filing bankruptcy.
We've talked a lot about bankruptcy today, but are there other areas of law that y'all help folks with out here?
Absolutely. You know, we also help folks with personal injury cases and other areas. You know, I'm always happy to sit down and talk with folks, and even if I can't help them, I can sometimes point them in the right direction.
And you offer them a no-cost consultation?
Absolutely. Our consultations are always free.
All right. Jesse, thank you so much for taking some time with us.
Thank you for coming out.
Very informative. I learned a lot today, and I'm sure our viewers did too. Folks, it's Tom Bible Law here in Kingsport. Jesse can help you out. Jesse Campbell, the managing attorney here. If you're facing bankruptcy, or if it's some avenue that you wanted to look into, come by, have that no-cost consultation with them. They'll be happy to do it today.
The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by